So, I'm having to be a little bit quiet because the baby's asleep in the next room. She's been kind of, let's wake up every hour or so tonight. But I wanted to go ahead and put out this video because it's about something I'm really excited about. So, let's talk about it. I'm going to be talking a little bit about what National Novel Writing Month is. For those of you who don't know what it is, or have not really ever heard of this crazy thing that we do every year, sometimes twice a year. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because right now is the summer version of NaNoWriMo. That they do two. They do one in April and then one in July. And I set the thing about the summer edition is that you can actually set your own word count. And before I go into what that means, let me explain what I mean by word count. So the goal for National Novel Writing Month, which takes place every year in November, is it is a month-long writing extravaganza. Sorry, the lighting in here is terrible. It is a month-long writing extravaganza where you are tasked with writing a full novel or 50,000 words in a single month. It sounds crazy. It is crazy. But it's a lot of fun too. That equals up to about, I think it's 1,667 words a day. So in short, it's a paper. You're writing a paper every day. So anyways, it's crazy and it's fun, but the reason that it is 50,000 words is because there's actually an organization out there that determines the lengths and measurements for literary works. And 50,000 words is what they have decided is the length of an average novel. Anything less is a novella, anything less than a novella is a short story. Can't remember what the ones over 50,000 are. But, anyways, so that's the reason for the 50,000. Now, going back to the camp version, during the summer editions, you can actually set your own goal word count. And I set mine pretty low this month because I do have just a lot going on with my health and doctor's appointments and the baby and things like that. I set mine low and I set it for 25,000 words. I have actually already exceeded that today. In fact, I already have the word count for 2 days from now accomplished. So I've already hit, I think, almost 27,000 now. But anyway, that's beside the point. But it's a ton of fun, and the cool thing about the November edition of NaNoWriMo that you don't really see a whole lot, I mean, it's there in the summer editions, but to a lesser extent, is the just large community aspect. And now what I mean by this is, you have what's called a region, which is governed by your MLs or municipal liaisons. Pretty much every large city has a region-specific NaNoWriMo writers group. So we actually do what are called write-ins, where we actually meet up in a public place as a group and do like writing-centric activities and just fun stuff and bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other. And it's a ton of fun, and we have a really, really great group here in my area. So, but it's cool because I actually tried to do Nano one year, I think it was in 2011 or 2012, I don't remember which. One of those. I think this year is my 5th year participating. Well, 6th year participating. 5th year that I will have won, I guess. Because, you know, I'm going to win this year. But, confidence, guys, confidence. The first year I did NaNoWriMo, I actually did not reach my 50,000 words. But I also wasn't participating in the write-ins, or we do online write-ins. I know my region has our own region-specific chat room that we use. So I know a lot of the regions are doing that. I don't know if all of them do. I've only ever been in this one region, so I can't really speak for everybody else. But that first year that I didn't participate in the just group activities and just kind of the community aspect, I did not accomplish the 50,000. But every year since then that I have participated in the community aspect, I have reached the 50K. So I highly recommend that if Nano is something that you are considering undertaking. And it's called National Novel Writing Month, but you don't really have to write a novel. I have had people in my writers group that do, they do a piece of artwork a day. They do screenplays. They've done fanfics, which is actually what I'm doing for camp, because I'm taking a break from publishables and original works for a little while, because it just got to the point where it just wasn't as much fun for me, because I don't know, it's just, I think I talked about it in a previous video, but it just, when all you're doing is writing to publish and to, with the hope of eventually making money off of it, and you're constantly critiquing and going through a million hours of editing and all that good stuff, it gets to the point where it feels more like work and less like fun. So I'm getting back to my fanfiction-y roots this month, and I'm having a blast. I forgot how much I loved not just reading fanfiction, but writing it. So, I've actually finished 4 original novels, and I think I've got like 27 fanfics posted online. But I'm really enjoying getting back to just writing purely for the enjoyment of it, which I feel like it's been a while since I did. So I'm really, really having a blast. Anyway, so you don't have to write a novel if that's not your thing. I know one year my sister did blog entries, I think. So, I mean, there are people in my writers group that have done articles or blog entries or whatever, as long as you reach your 50K. And the cool thing about Nano is that if you are registered on the official Nano website, there are all kinds of winners goodies that you get if you reach your 50K. And you have to go basically verify it through the site, but once you reach your 50K, you get all kinds of goodies. There's a bunch of free stuff that you get. They've got a merch shop, which are some of my favorite. Like, I have a Nano t-shirt that I was very, very sad I couldn't wear anymore once I got pregnant. But it's super cool, and I can't wait to get another one. I really want one of the coffee cups. So, anyways. But they have a merchandise shop with a bunch of cool stuff. I know I got one of the winner's goodies for this past November was half off the Scrivener program, and I was like, oh well, you know, they have like a trial version you can download to just kind of check it out and see how it is, because originally it's like $40 or $50. And I tried it out and really liked it, and I had the half off thing from winning Nano, so I went ahead and bought it, and I only had to pay for half of it, so that was rad. But I really, really like it, so I'm kind of sad I don't think I can actually use it on my new Chromebook. It's still on my desktop though. So that's the cool thing about Scrivener too, is that you can actually, I think you can download it on, if you buy it once, I think you can use it on up to 5 devices. I know there's also an iOS version, like an app version for the for Apple products, but they haven't released it on Android yet, so fingers crossed they might do that this year, because that would be exciting. But anyways, so it's just a ton of fun, and we have a really great writers group, and everybody's super friendly, and there's a lot of just smaller, just quirky things that go on during it that make it just a ton of silliness and fun. So I definitely encourage you to try that out if you're feeling brave and have never done it before this year, or maybe if you have. But it's a lot of fun, and it can be hard sometimes. I usually try to stay ahead, so I know I'm not falling behind. Because, I mean, with the just general craziness of day-to-day life, it's easy to fall behind your word counts. Again, that's 1,667 words to write a day. I usually try and write at least 2,000. Of course, everybody's got off days. I stick with 2,000 because 2,000 or more is a typical fan fiction chapter for me. I try to keep them definitely no less than 2,000, because then they're too short, and I don't like reading short chapters, so I'm sure my readers don't either. But I try to keep them about, no less than 2,000, so, I mean, pretty much it's a chapter or more a day, or a chapter or a little less a day. So, I mean, and I usually do my writing after I put the baby to sleep. She goes down at about 7 or 8 o'clock, and then I just write until the day ends. I guess the nano day rolls over at midnight, so you have to make sure that your word count for the day is in by midnight. And what I mean by in is that they actually have you can keep up with your own word counts in, whatever word program, or, chalk on the wall, or lipstick, or whatever that you're tallying it in. But you have to just, they have a word counter on the website where you can actually input your word count for the day. So you don't actually have to verify it until you've actually won, or you've reached your 50K. So you just put in your words for the day before midnight, otherwise it won't count for that day. I mean, if you're ahead, that's not a big deal, but, if you're one of those people that, keeps it right on the, just basically does what you need for that day, then, you'll want to get it in before midnight. Now, there's some terms you'll hear thrown around the nano community quite a bit that you might not know if you've never heard them before. There's planner and there's a pantser. Now, you can be one of these two, or there's a plancer, I think I heard this past year for the first time. Basically, a planner is somebody who plans their work, I am a super planner. I have, character creation sheets, I have plot lines written out. I do a full timeline for all of my novels before I ever put pen to paper. So I know exactly what's going to happen from start to finish before I ever start actually writing my novel, and then I'll adjust accordingly if something new comes up or I have a new idea throughout the course of the month. Now, if you are a pantser, basically you have zero prep, you decide what you're going to start writing, and then you don't do really any sort of prep work for it at all ahead of time until November 1st. And we start at midnight on November 1st, so it is a really fun way to spend your Halloween, is prepping for your novel. So, but it's a lot of fun. There's usually lots of leftover Halloween candy to go around November, So that's what I save all of our leftover Halloween candy for, is for Nano. But, and Planter is you're kind of a bit of both. You plan a little bit, but then you pants a lot too, so, you know. But yeah, Planter, flying off the seat of your pants. So, it's just, it's a lot of silliness and a lot of fun, and, you know, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people over the years who do it and just get themselves stressed out and bogged down by it, but that's really not what it's supposed to be. I think the people who tend to have trouble with Nano are the people who try to make it something that it's not meant to be. Like, it's not meant to be super stressful. Like, yeah, there is a little bit of stress involved, getting your word counts in and everything, and trying to carve out time in your day, which, you know, for some is easier than others. But, you know, it's not really meant to be a stressful thing. It's meant to be kind of fun and lighthearted and productive, but not so productive that you don't enjoy it. I think a lot of people go into it thinking that they are going to have, you know, their novel done by the time they're done, and then they can go straight to publishing. Let me clear up that misconception right now. Nano is to finish your first draft. For anyone who has ever actually published anything, there are multiple drafts that you typically go to before you get your work published. So, Nano is not meant for final drafts, unless you are revising something. I know a lot of people who actually save their revisions for Nano, and then do their revisions for their Nano, instead of just writing something new. I'm doing a revised version of one of my older fanfics, and kind of making it not crap for this coming Nano. I've promised one of my readers that I will do that, because I started a revision and then just never really finished it because I started working on the publishables, so it just kind of sat there. It's still sitting there. I actually finished one of my old fanfics tonight as part of my Nano project. I'm working on several different fanfics for Nano this month, and I actually just finished one that's been sitting there for like 2 years. So I was pretty proud of myself. I just posted the last 2 chapters like an hour ago. I'm very proud of myself. It's been sitting there forever, and I'm so glad that I finished it finally. But anyways, so just have fun with it, basically. Be brave, try it out. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again, but it's a lot of fun, and definitely get involved in the community. And just try not to make it something that it's not, you know, just have fun with it. Don't make it this big, stressful thing, you know. The write-ins are super, super fun. If you go on the website, on the Nano website, and put in, I think, your area code, maybe? I can't remember. But it gives you an option to put in where you live, and it'll connect you to your home region, which is the region group that is in your local area. And there's a little chat message board thing on your home region tab, and it's just a ton of fun. And if you haven't tried it before, I definitely encourage you to, because it is so much fun. Plus, now is the time to start planning for November. Trying to decide what you're going to write and coming up with ideas for it. You got plenty of time. So, anyways, I will leave it here because this video is dragged a little bit longer than I expected, as usual. So, anyways, just another shout out to my other channel. It is Loremaster Talusar, Talus apostrophe AR. That is my gaming channel. I'm also working on trying to figure out how I'm going to do the lore videos, so just bear with me on those. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!